Close your eyes for a moment. Just for a moment, let the world fade away. The distractions, the noise, the endless chatter of obligations and expectations, they can wait. In this moment, it's just you. Not the version of you that the world sees, but the one behind it all. The one who's quietly watching, feeling. Now, listen. Not with your ears, but with your whole being. There's a rhythm to life, a pulse that runs through everything. You don't have to search for it, it's already there. It's in the silence that surrounds sound, in the pause between your thoughts, in the stillness of your breath. Can you hear it? It's the unbroken connection between you and everything that is. We spend so much time running, chasing goals, chasing people, chasing meaning, as if life were a prize at the end of a race. But right here in this quiet is the truth we so often miss. Life isn't happening out there, it's unfolding right now, in this moment, within you. And to feel it, to truly understand it, you don't need to go anywhere or do anything. You simply need to listen. When you truly listen, you begin to hear the wisdom that's always been inside you. It's not the voice that shouts or demands or analyzes. It's the quiet knowing, the gentle whisper that tells you what really matters. It doesn't ask for control or approval, it simply is. And this is where freedom lies. Not in fighting against life, but in flowing with it. When you stop to listen, you realize that life has never been against you. The struggle, the pain, the doubt, they were never punishments. They were teachers, guiding you back to this moment, to this clarity. So often we let fear and doubt drown out the voice within. We get so tangled in the chaos of the world that we forget to trust ourselves. But when you close your eyes and listen, you remember. You remember that you are enough, not because of what you do or achieve, but this isn't about escaping reality, it's about meeting it fully. When you open your eyes again, the noise will return, the world will demand your attention, but you'll carry something with you, the awareness that no matter how loud life gets, you can always find stillness. You can always find yourself. So, when the world feels overwhelming, when you're unsure of the next step or caught in the rush of it all, just stop. Close your eyes, listen. Everything you need is already within you. Imagine for a moment what it feels like to truly step away. Not just from your tasks, your plans, or the endless list of things you think you need to do, but from everything, from the noise of the world, from the expectations others place on you, and even the expectations you place on yourself. Imagine letting it all go. Not forever, but just for a while, and finding a space where none of it matters. A space where you don't need to prove, achieve, or fix anything. A space where you simply exist. Closing your eyes is more than just shutting out the light. It's an act of rebellion in a world that constantly demands your attention. It's a moment of courage where you choose to step away from the pull of everything external and turn inward. And what do you find there? At first, perhaps, there's nothing but the noise you've carried with you. The buzzing thoughts, the mental lists, the questions without answers. But if you sit with it, if you trust the process and allow yourself to stay in that stillness, something magical begins to happen. You start to notice the space between the noise. You begin to feel the weight of the world lifting just a little as you let go of the need to engage with it. For in this act of turning inward, you're not running away, you're returning to yourself, to a sense of wholeness that the outside world can never give you. You're reminding yourself that you are more than the roles you play or the tasks you complete. You are not defined by the emails you answer, the goals you reach, or the opinions others have of you. You are defined by the simple, undeniable fact that you are here. And here is where life happens. Not in the chaos, not in the rush, but in the quiet moments when you allow yourself to just be. By closing your eyes, you're telling the world, wait, I need a moment to find myself again. And in doing so, you begin to realize something profound. The world doesn't collapse when you step away. It keeps spinning, but you no longer feel as though you're spinning with it. You find your center, that still, unshakable part of you that's always been there, waiting for you to listen. When you choose to disconnect from the noise of the world, you're not losing anything, you're gaining everything that truly matters. Clarity, peace, and the ability to see life for what it really is, a series of moments, unfolding one breath at a time. And in that quiet, with your eyes closed and your attention turned inward, you'll discover the most precious gift of all, yourself. Listening is often misunderstood. We think it's something we do with our ears, that it's about sounds, words, or the voices of others. But true listening goes far deeper than that. It's not about the noise around you, it's about the silence beneath it. When you close your eyes and listen, really listen, you begin to hear something remarkable. Not the rush of the world, not the demands or distractions, but the steady rhythm of life itself. It's been there all along, waiting for you to notice it. This kind of listening isn't passive. It's an act of surrender, a willingness to let go of everything you think you know. When you stop focusing so much on the external and turn inward, you begin to sense a harmony that connects everything. It's not something you can describe with words or measure with logic. It's a feeling, a knowing, an awareness that goes beyond what your ears can hear or your mind can process. You hear the pause between your thoughts, the gentle flow of your breath, the pulse of your own existence. And in that you realize that the world isn't something separate from you, it's flowing through you. The noise of the world often drowns out this connection. The chatter of opinions, the endless commentary of the mind, the pressure to keep up. It all creates a wall that makes it hard to hear what truly matters. But when you close your eyes and listen, the wall starts to crumble. You realize that much of what you've been straining to hear, validation, answers, direction, was never outside you to begin with. It was always within you, waiting for you to stop and pay attention. This is the beauty of true listening. It requires nothing but your presence. You don't have to force it or chase it, you simply allow it. And as you do, something extraordinary happens. The noise starts to fade, and the clarity of your inner voice begins to emerge. It doesn't shout or demand your attention. It whispers, gently guiding you back to yourself. It reminds you that you are already whole, already enough. It teaches you that the answers you seek aren't found in the noise, but in the stillness. When you truly listen, you begin to trust yourself in a way that no external voice can match. You realize that the world's chaos doesn't have to be your chaos, that the storm outside doesn't have to disturb the calm within. And as you open your eyes again, you carry that clarity with you. You walk back into the noise, but you're no longer lost in it. You've learned to hear the truth beneath it all, the unshakable rhythm of life that connects you to everything, and everything to you. Life isn't waiting for you somewhere down the road. It's not hidden in the future, wrapped up in some accomplishment or event that you haven't yet reached. And yet so many of us live as though it is. We chase, we strive, we hurry forward, believing that fulfillment lies in the next goal, the next success, the next thing we acquire or achieve. But if you stop, just for a moment, you'll see that life has been here all along, unfolding quietly in the present. It's not a destination, it's the path itself. When you close your eyes and listen, you realize that the present moment is all there ever is. The past, it's gone, existing only as echoes in your mind. The future, it's not yet real, only a projection of what could be. But this moment, this breath, this beat of your heart, this stillness within you, it's real, it's alive, and it's enough. We're so accustomed to living in anticipation, thinking that the real moments are somewhere ahead of us. But in doing so, we miss the miracle of what's happening right now, the softness of your breath, the rhythm of your heartbeat, the quiet presence of your being. This is life. Not the plans you're making, not the milestones you're chasing, but this simple, profound experience of being here. When you learn to listen to the present, you discover a richness that the rush of life often obscures. You begin to notice the small, beautiful details you once overlooked. The way light filters through a window, the way silence wraps round you like a soft blanket, the way your body simply knows how to breathe without you having to ask. These are not insignificant moments. They are the essence of life itself. To be in the present is to let go of the illusion that something is missing. It's to realize that you don't need to rush to the next thing, because there is no next that can offer you more than this moment already does. The peace, the clarity, the sense of wholeness you seek, it's all here, waiting for you to notice it. When you stop chasing, you start experiencing. When you stop striving, you start living. And so the question is not, what's next, but what's now? What do you feel in this moment? What do you hear when you truly listen? Life is not hiding from you. It's not something you need to earn or achieve. It's offering itself to you, freely and fully, in every breath you take. The only thing you have to do is accept it. There's a voice inside you, one that's been speaking to you your entire life. It's not loud or insistent. It doesn't clamor for attention or compete with the noise of the world. It's quiet, gentle, and steady. And yet, it holds a wisdom that no external voice can match. When you close your eyes and listen, you begin to hear it, not with your ears, but with something deeper. Something that feels like remembering rather than discovering. This inner guidance isn't something you need to seek or create. It's always been there, waiting patiently for you to notice it. The world may tell you that the answers are outside of you, that you need to look to others, to systems, to structures for direction. But when you truly listen, you realize the truth. The guidance you need has always been within you. It's the part of you that knows what feels right and what doesn't, what aligns with your essence and what pulls you away from it. In the rush of daily life, it's easy to lose touch with this voice. The demands of the world, the expectations of others, and the noise of your own mind can drown it out. But when you take a moment to step back, to close your eyes and tune in, you create space for it to be heard. And when it speaks, it doesn't give you complicated answers or rigid instructions. Instead, it offers clarity. It nudges you toward what feels true, what feels whole, what feels like you. Trusting this voice can feel unfamiliar at first, especially if you've spent years ignoring it or doubting it. But as you listen more, as you begin to follow its guidance, you'll notice something extraordinary. It always leads you home. Not to a physical place, but to a state of being where you feel connected, aligned, and at peace. It doesn't promise an easy path, but it does promise a meaningful one. And isn't that what we're all searching for? The beauty of this inner voice is that it doesn't need the world's approval. It doesn't ask for permission or validation. It doesn't care about the noise around you. It exists beyond all of that, rooted in something timeless and true. And the more you trust it, the more you realize how unnecessary the noise really is. When you close your eyes and listen, you reconnect with this wisdom. You begin to see that you don't need to look outward for answers or direction. You don't need to search for someone else to tell you who you are or what you should do. You already know. You've always known. All that's left is to trust yourself enough to follow what you hear. We often look at our struggles and challenges as obstacles, as barriers that block us from the life we desire. We label them as problems to solve or burdens to carry, something to push through or escape from. But what if they're not what they seem? What if instead of being in the way, they're showing us the way? What if every moment of pain, doubt, and frustration has been guiding us towards something we need to see, something we need to understand? When you close your eyes and listen, really listen, you begin to sense that life isn't random. Even the moments that feel chaotic, even the seasons of suffering, they hold meaning. They're teachers, far wiser than we often give them credit for. The difficult moments, the ones that test us, are not punishments. They're invitations to wake up, to pay attention, to go deeper. They're the universe asking us to step into our own strength, to discover the resilience we didn't know we had. The truth is, growth rarely happens in comfort. It's the moments of discomfort that shape us, that mold us into who we're meant to be. Think of a seed pushing through the soil to reach the light. It doesn't look easy, does it? It's dark, it's heavy, and yet that struggle is precisely what allows the seed to grow into a tree. Your struggles are the same. They push you, they challenge you, they force you to stretch beyond what you thought you could endure, and in doing so, they reveal your strength. But to see this, you have to stop resisting. You have to stop labeling every challenge as something that's wrong. Instead, close your eyes and listen to what life is trying to tell you through it. Often, the lessons are subtle. They're not shouted at you. They're whispered. In the midst of pain, there's wisdom. In the heart of doubt, there's clarity. In every fall, there's an opportunity to rise. Not as you were, but as someone new, someone stronger. Life isn't about avoiding struggles or wishing them away. It's about understanding that they're an essential part of the journey. They're not here to break you, but to break open the parts of you that are ready to grow. And when you embrace this, when you stop fighting against the flow and start moving with it, something incredible happens. You realize that the very things you thought were holding you back were actually propelling you forward. So, when life feels heavy, when the path seems uncertain, close your eyes and listen. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What is this teaching me?" The answers are there waiting for you in the silence. Your struggles are not your enemies. They are your allies, shaping you, refining you, and guiding you to a life that's deeper, richer, and more meaningful than you could have imagined. Trust the process. It's all unfolding exactly as it should. So much of life is spent in resistance. We resist the circumstances we don't like, the emotions we don't want to feel, and the uncertainties that make us uncomfortable. We fight against reality, trying to shape it into something that feels safer or more controlled. But what if the very act of resistance is what creates the struggle? What if freedom isn't found in controlling life, but in letting it flow? When you close your eyes and listen, you begin to notice something profound. Life doesn't demand your control. The wind doesn't ask your permission to blow. The rivers don't stop to check if their direction is acceptable to you. Life moves effortlessly, following its own rhythm, and in its movement there is a deep natural wisdom. When you resist it, when you fight to control every detail, you create tension within yourself. But when you flow with it, when you surrender to the unfolding of life, you find a sense of ease and freedom you may never have thought possible. This doesn't mean giving up. It doesn't mean passivity or apathy. It means embracing the reality of what is, instead of exhausting yourself by wishing it were different. It's about recognizing that life isn't something to conquer, it's something to dance with. In every moment, life is inviting you to join the flow, to let go of the need to control and simply trust the current. Surrendering doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop gripping so tightly that you can't feel the beauty of what's already in your hands. It means opening yourself to the natural ebb and flow of life, understanding that just as the ocean has its tides, so too does your life have its rises and falls. There is wisdom in every wave, in every moment, even the ones that feel uncomfortable or uncertain. When you let go of resistance, you begin to notice something extraordinary. The peace that's always been within you. It's not something you have to find or create. It's already there, waiting for you to stop fighting and start listening. You realize that freedom isn't about having everything go your way. It's about learning to flow with whatever comes your way. It's about trusting that life knows where it's going, even when you don't. So, close your eyes and listen. Let the noise of resistance fade. Feel the natural rhythm of life moving through you, carrying you, guiding you. Trust it. Flow with it. And as you do, you'll discover that the freedom you've been searching for has been here all along. Not in controlling life, but in embracing it exactly as it is. In that surrender, you find not weakness, but the strength to move with life instead of against it. To live fully, freely, and deeply. In a world filled with endless noise, it's easy to feel like the quiet moments are few and fleeting, as if stillness is something you have to chase. But the truth is, stillness isn't out there. It isn't a place you go or a destination you reach. It's something you carry within you, always present, always available, no matter how loud or chaotic the world around you becomes. When you close your eyes and listen, you begin to understand this. You realize that the stillness you seek doesn't depend on silence outside of you. It lives in the center of who you are. It's the calm beneath the storm, the space between your thoughts, the quiet presence that exists even in the busiest moments. It's not something fragile or fleeting. It's unshakable, untouched by the rush of life. This stillness is your anchor. When the world demands too much, when the noise grows too loud, you can return to it. It's always there, waiting for you to notice it, to reconnect with the part of yourself that is steady and unchanging. And what's beautiful about this stillness is that it doesn't ask you to turn away from life. It doesn't require you to isolate yourself or escape. Instead, it teaches you how to move through life with a sense of balance and clarity. It allows you to engage with the world without losing yourself in it. Carrying stillness with you isn't about avoiding chaos. It's about finding peace within it. It's about knowing that even in the midst of noise, you can close your eyes, take a breath, and feel that deep, steady calm within you. It's a reminder that you are not defined by the busyness around you, nor are you a victim of it. You are something greater, something quieter, something that cannot be shaken by the noise of the world. And when you open your eyes again, you bring that stillness with you. It becomes part of how you see, how you listen, how you move through your days. You no longer feel the need to react to every distraction or be swept away by every demand. You can be fully present in the world while remaining deeply connected to your inner calm. And that, more than anything, is freedom. So, when life feels overwhelming, when the noise grows unbearable, remember this: you carry stillness within you. You don't need to go looking for it. You only need to pause, to close your eyes and listen, and there it is. Constant, unwavering, and yours to return to whenever you need it. And as you live from that stillness, you'll find that the world doesn't feel so heavy anymore. You'll move through it with ease, anchored by the quiet strength of knowing who you truly are. So, as we come to the end of this moment, remember that everything you seek, the clarity, the peace, the wisdom, isn't somewhere out there. It's not in the next achievement, the next success, or the next stage of your life. It's here, now, in the very space you occupy. It's in your breath, in the stillness between your thoughts, in the quiet moments when you close your eyes and simply listen. The world will continue to spin, the noise will rise, the distractions will come, and yet within all of that, there is an unshakable center where peace resides. This is not something you have to earn or fight for. It's something you've always had, always been. When you close your eyes and listen, you return to it. You reconnect with that quiet wisdom inside you, the same wisdom that has guided you even when you didn't notice. You see, life isn't something you must force or struggle to control. It's a flow, a dance. And when you listen, truly listen, you discover that you are part of that flow. You are not separate from it. You are life itself, unfolding perfectly just as you are. Every challenge, every joy, every moment. There is meaning in it all, a meaning that you'll discover not in the rush of your mind, but in the calm of your heart. So the next time you feel overwhelmed or lost or disconnected, close your eyes and listen. Stop seeking answers outside of yourself. Trust that what you need is already within you, waiting to be heard. The stillness you seek, the clarity, the strength, it's all here. In every breath, in every quiet moment, you are reminded that you are enough, that you are whole, and that you don't need to do anything to be exactly who you are meant to be. When you listen deeply, the world doesn't need to change. You do. You transform from the inside out, discovering a peace that can't be shaken by the noise of life. And in that peace, you find your true power, not in controlling life, but in surrendering to it, in allowing it to move through you as you. So close your eyes, listen, and know that in this moment, you already have everything you need. The rest is simply unfolding as it should.